on. I've known people who were challenged in their faith because a professor told them to go home and read the passion narrative in all four Gospels and write down how they vary. And after doing that, this Christian was disturbed by how different the passion narratives seemed to be. That never bothered me when I first read this stuff, because I know that witnesses never agree. That's why the first thing I ask when I get called out in the middle of the night is really simple. The first thing I ask the dispatcher is, are officers still on the scene? Yep, they are. Okay, great. Have them separate the eyewitnesses. Why do I ask for that? That's the only thing I ask for. I don't ask for anything else. Because I know if you don't separate those eyewitnesses, when I get there, they'll have talked to each other, and they will give me the same story 4 times. I do not want the same story. That's not what real eyewitnesses sound like. I want you to hold on to your differences. Doesn't mean anyone's lying. Doesn't even mean anyone's wrong. It just means you're coming at this from a different perspective. And the order in which you are actually interviewed matters. Let me give you an example of this. Let's say I've got a robbery. The first witness I talk to gives me this description of the robber. He wore a white t-shirt and jeans. His hair was short. He yelled a lot. Okay, can you see here what she's doing? She's really trying to answer 3 key questions. What was he wearing? What did he look like? And what did he say? So he's got a white t-shirt and jeans. His hair is short. He yelled a lot. Now the next person comes along, and I've separated my witnesses so they can't hear what each other is saying. That's good. And sure enough, the second witness I interview says something slightly different. T-shirt's the same, but now he's got jeans. His hair was blonde. That's new. And he demanded money. But you can at least say he is answering the same 3 questions, just slightly differently. What did he wear? What did he look like? What did he say? I get a third person. He's been separated, so he doesn't hear what the first 2 say. He says he had a short sleeve shirt and jeans. Doesn't say it's a t-shirt. White guy. Oh, that's new. He screamed at the clerk. Slightly different, but he at least is answering the same 3 questions. What did he wear? What did he look like? What did he say? Now, you see in the shadows here, there's another guy. And if I'm not careful and I don't know that that's a witness and I allow him to overhear the first 3 witnesses, that's going to mess everything up. So now he's heard what the first 3 said. Now he identifies himself as a witness. Really? Why didn't someone separate this guy? Why didn't somebody identify him? Okay, come on over. Tell me what do you know? And he now offers something somewhat different. Having heard the first 3, he now comes over, and here's what his statement is. He says, he's a regular customer. Really? That's Afterwards, he ran out to a white van. What? The first 3 were answering these questions. What did he wear? What did he look like? What did he say? And this one now comes up with these 2 kinds of questions. Well, who was he? And what did he do afterward? Why is he doing that? Well, something similar happens in the Gospels. It's all about order. He knew what the first 3 had said, so his goal in his mind was to fill in the blanks. Now, I don't want you to fill in the blanks. Pretend like you didn't hear them. Just go back and start at the beginning and give me the whole thing from the beginning. But if you don't stop somebody to have him do that, he will just fill in the blanks. Now, let's go, for example, to the Gospels. We have a description of the Lord's Supper. First witness, someone like Mark, says, hey, they were reclining at the table and eating, and Jesus said, truly I say to you that one of you will betray me. Okay. Here the author is trying to answer these 2 questions. Where were they? What did Jesus say? Here comes another account from Matthew. As they were eating, he said, truly I say to you that one of you will betray me. Slightly different, but at least he's answering the same 2 questions. Go to Luke. But behold, the hand of the one betraying me is with mine on the table. Oh, that's a little different. But it is answering the same 2 questions. Then we get to the last gospel. Gospel written last, and actually it's clear that this gospel author is aware of what the first 3 had said already. So John comes along and he says this. He says, there was reclining on Jesus' bosom one of his disciples, whom Jesus loved. So when he had dipped the morsel, he took it and gave it to Judas, the son of Simon Iscariot. This is all new information, okay? After the morsel, Satan then entered into him. This is all new. Therefore Jesus said to him, what you do quickly. Really? The other 2 were answering these questions. This is not John's intention at all. John's answering these 2 questions. Who's his favorite? And why did Judas do this? Well, what's going on there? Again, is because he is being interviewed last. Witnesses never totally agree. And he, like my other witness, is trying to fill in the blanks. Don't let someone tell you that differences between the gospel is what invalidates them. In fact, it's the differences between the gospels that validate them, that make them reliable. If God's intention was to get us 4 accounts that we could examine with the skill set we need to examine reliable eyewitness testimony and determine that they were in fact reliable, he did a great job. That's what we have.